Bruno, where do you think your team is at the moment? The results are pretty good, but how do you match results and performance?
No, I think it's been good. Obviously, when you get the result, it's always better, even if you don't play the best football. But I think in the last few games, we've been more consistent. I think we're showing more than ourselves, more than what we really are. But it's about to keep the same momentum now, because it's not enough to show just for some whiles. We need to do it consistently.
Particularly in this competition, in the Champions League, where you've had some difficult days, so now you have to win, don't you?
No, of course. We know that is a moment for us really important, where we have to win the game to still have the belief and the hope to go through the group. We know we are not in the position that we want to be in the Champions League group, and we have to do something to change that.
Yeah, not easy in Istanbul.
It's not easy anywhere. Yeah, Champions League is where you fight against the best teams in the world, in Europe, and obviously you want to win them, and you know that the atmosphere will be on fire. But is this that you dream about when you're a kid? You dream about to play in these big stadiums with big atmosphere. So just enjoy the challenge.
What did you learn from the first meeting with this Galatasaray?
No, we knew how they could play. We knew they're an intense team that have qualities as individuals on the ball. They are really good. But I think they are really dangerous on counters. But apart of that, on pressing-wise, pressing higher on the pitch, they are really strong. So we just have to be aware of that. And the rest is a focus on ourselves and what we can do to hurt them.
In terms of focusing on yourself, obviously captaincy this season for you, is that something you enjoy?
Yeah, of course, you have to enjoy. I'm captain of one of the biggest clubs in the world. This is something that is a proud moment for me, and it's a challenge that I'm dealing with, and I think I'm doing well.
Yeah. So, for instance, when we saw you give the penalty to Marcus at the weekend, is that part of you thinking about the team rather than just thinking about yourself?
No, that's nothing to do with captaincy. It has to be with a team player, and we here fighting for the same goals, and we need everyone to be at their best. So it's something that you have to do for your teammates, and not as a captain, but as a team player.
Okay, so it was just a generous decision.
No, it's just a decision that is better for the team, where I think that we can get the best out of Marcus when he's confident in scoring goals, because we all know that the strikers get the confidence by putting the ball into the net. So I think for Marcus it was important to get his first goal in the Premier League, and hopefully now he's going to go in a run where he's going to score many goals for us.
Yeah, and for you, you're always somewhat the focal point because you're such an important player and now the captain. And I know you must realise you get a lot of love, and sometimes you get a lot of criticism. Does it bother you?
Yeah, it's normal. It's part of football. You know, when you play for Man United, you know it's going to be like that. When you win, is everything perfect. When you lose, they're going to try something to see where the problems are, and obviously they have to focus in some players. And I know I'm one of that players that gets the attention, but that's normal, and I have to deal with that.
Yeah, they don't normally boo or criticise the bad players. They pick on the good players, huh?
I don't know that, but they do what they think they have to do. So it's not on me to decide who they have to boo or whatever. But I'm here to do my job. I know that some days I'm going to do a good job. Some days it's not going to work the way I want, and I have to get to work with the criticism when I'm not on my days.
And you're one of the experienced players for sure now. You also have a number of younger players here and newly arrived players. Are some people trying to adapt to becoming a Manchester United footballer?
Obviously, when you arrive at the club, you know you're coming for a big club, but you're not ready for what's coming, because I think it's unusual for most of the players when you don't play for such big clubs like this. And probably I think the only ones that came to the club and was probably ready for this was Cas and Rafa, because at Real Madrid I think the pressure is almost the same. It should be, I think, is equal. So the rest of the players, you obviously have to adapt to that. You have to understand that you're coming to a place where, as I said before, when you play good, everyone is going to put you on the top of the sky, and when you're playing not at your best, they're gonna try to hurt you. So you just have to be prepared for that. And I think for young players, you know, when they come through, it's more easier in the beginning, but it gets hard when they start doing something really good, because as soon as they get some game that is not going so well, they're gonna get the criticism, and they have to deal with that. And I think us as experienced players, as you call senior players, as the way you want to call it, we have to help them on that and make sure that they understand that it's not everything bad when it goes wrong, and it's not everything perfect when it goes good.
And do you enjoy that?
Yeah, of course. I think it's part of the day by day. I think it's not only on football. You always try to help everyone that you know. I'm a father now, so my daughter, for example, goes to gymnastics, and sometimes she wins, sometimes she doesn't get into the podium, and you have to make her understand that some days you win, some days you learn.